I really like this draft from VICI Gaming. Like, they've got the two spirits there. Like, PYW is just going to be able to close the gap on any target he finds. And we have seen that being spammed out quite a bit by Emo, but Ori is still maintaining the last hit lead.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot stronger wave clear. It's less committal. With a Resonant Pulse, the AoE is a bit better than Astral Imprisonment as well. And, you know, it gives you wave tanking these waves. So Emo's options aren't as great. I'd say Astral Imprisonment starts to shine at level 2, level 3 is where it really starts to take over, although.
Yeah, top lane. They do end up killing off Ollie for first blood. Yang also going down, as Ollie just popped every form of regen to try and survive that underneath his tier 1 tower.
But that's a dual melee lane, up against a Bane, up against a Morph. There's a lot of space they'd have to close out to really try and trade, and the best they can do is be disruptive towards these pulls. It's just that this doesn't stop yours. So that's a big issue for IG. You could argue JT is having a good time farming up. That's an Abaddon's farm up against a Morphling's farm, though. VG's most definitely winning out and just having yours farm safely.
Oh, mid lane, Ori. He's getting very, very low. Emo trying to finish him off. Kaka, he's got a haste rune. He's going to dive in for the kill, and he does get it. Emo able to pick it up on the OD, and now DY is going to be in a bit of danger. Astral going to be out, but that's going to be it. Emo won't bother trying to follow up on top of that. They got the main kill they wanted anyway, and now they back off. Top lane, however, Fly. It's going to die in the Clinks. It is going to cost Yang his life, but for the Clinks kill, I'd say it's well worth it. I mean, you're really dependent on that. Considering Eurus is farming freely on the Morphling, you really do need to snowball out of control on that Clinks. Mid lane, looks like they are going to make the jump onto Emo, but the Spirit doesn't really land. Still Emo trying to run out of there. PYW does roll in, but now Kaka has rotated in with a nice toss back on DY, and a great avalanche out with the Sanity's Eclipse being dropped. And DY is probably just dead here on the Bane. He will be. A double kill out for Emo on the OD.
Yeah, that's a big one. Now, that gives Emo his early level 6. You know, that's the first use of his Sanities as well, and they managed to find really good kills.
Fly again, though. Ends up going down.
It's a really good play from Yang because he punishes that point where the Clinks is left alone, which means the supports go back up top. It frees up the mid lane, where you see those supports from VG again just camping around. They really want to slow Emo down on this OD.
They're going to roll in. He does have a double damage active, but it's not going to matter as the Remnant does lock in an Emo. Just goes AFK for a second. Now realizes he could have fought back just a little bit more, but it won't matter. You might not really be able to do much against the Abaddon, but it's Abaddon. You don't really do anything against him anyway. So you may as well just go for the shotgun build as Eurus. As mid lane, DY gonna get tossed back here trying to protect Ori on that Void Spirit. And it's gonna cost him his life.
It didn't feel like they needed to sacrifice DY there. Ori did manage to Astral step out, although...
Emo, he's still going. Astral Remnant is going to connect, but now the lasso is going to be out from Yang. Avalanche toss, and Sanity's being dropped, but it's not going to be enough. They're still surviving. Ori's making a run for it, but Kaka is on the chase. Meanwhile, PYW does go down mid. And well, somehow Ori got a kill. It looks like it was onto Ollie near the tier 1 tower. Avalanche does connect there onto Ori with the toss. They do eventually get a 3-for-2 trade for the side of IG.
Of our Void Spirit, and this is something IG needs to maximize. Maximize that weak point in IG's draft, although VG, they're looking around up top. They do have a lot of heroes here to try to find something.
They're just going to roll in onto Ollie. He's a very easy kill to get for Yang at the moment, but this is going to force TPs in from the Abaddon. Nightmare is going to be out on Ollie. But now, Avalanche toss from Kaka, going to provide a lot of damage onto Yang, who's going to try and make a run for it, but JT is in the chase still. Ollie does go down to DY and Yang, and now Yang is still going to die to Emo, but DY, he will go for the TP out. Definitely not a worthwhile trade out from the side of VICI Gaming.
So it's basically free farm for Eurus. He's working towards his Yasha, more than likely into the Manta, and just trying to work himself up on that Morphling.
It's quite interesting how he hasn't been controlled once as top lane. Kaka going to be in a bit of danger. Does go down. Ori goes ahead and cleans up that kill for himself. But it is quite intriguing how they haven't really been able to do anything about this Morphling yet. And Eurus now is just going to TP into the mid lane and start farming there. In fact, they found a Fiend's Grip onto the Clinks. That means Fly is going to end up going down, and just a great setup out from DY. Bot lane DY is going to be chased by the Tomato, but eventually it does get eaten by Fly, who does get nightmared up. Does have some friends coming in here from IG, but they're not really going to make it in time. Instead, IG going to start pressuring that bottom tower. However, we're already got to kill somewhere on the Void Spirit, but top lane, Emo, going to end up getting the trade onto Ori. So Kaka dies, but Ori does go down in the process. Again, you kind of question how worthwhile that was. Yeah, it definitely does come across a bit strange these days, seeing that Midas come out. Like, it feels just a little bit too slow. I don't know, he's already got the point booster up. He's not too far off the Ags. I say that, he's still 3k away, but bot lane, Fly. Magnetized up, Ori jumping in with the Astral Step, still Fly trying to survive, but the Magnetize gonna be refreshed, and Ori does pick up the kill. And it's just not great news, because if Fly keeps dying like this, you know, usually that Orchid would be up so much earlier, and you could get those solo pickoffs by yourself, but now you just can't. And bot lane, JT, did get lassoed, does pop the borrowed time and just makes a run for it, but they get the Yules off in time. And so the Aether Remnant going to lock him in, and JT is definitely going to die. But VICI should be willing to take this team fight. Even without Eurus, they probably would. PYW trying to sneak his way in with that Invis rune, and Yang, of course, still looking for a lasso target. Ori now, Astral stepping forward, does catch out JT, but he's making a run for it. Boulder Smash is going to connect. Ori does connect with the Yules, but borrowed time's going to be popped. Now, they do go into Ollie instead. In fact, no, they get the lasso off on the Abaddon, and he is definitely going to go down here, JT. Even the Nightmare out on Ollie. A great catch out from DY. And it's going to be a secondary kill now for VICI Gaming. And mind you, John, this is 4v5. This is without Eurus here on the morph.
It was also supposed to be Fly's Orchid reveal. None of that paying off. So VG continuing to build their lead up 6k now. And IG, I mean, their draft has that time.
Oh, no, he ran past the sentry, and now the Fiend Trip's going to connect. They're going to have, even if it was just PYW there, they would have had enough damage. Ori does jump in and help out in the end, but they know they've got plenty of wards to scout out this smoke happening. They're just waiting casually, as you do have the Ags now coming out onto Ollie, or rather Ori, excuse me. IG, they're going to get started again on that Roshan, but Yang is going to give vision with the Firefly. Now Lasso is going to catch out one. It is going to be the OD, and they're looking to burst him down. PYW with a huge Magnetize on the Earth Spirit. Ollie is falling very, very low on the Enchantress. Kaka does try to get the ES, but he's still running away. In fact, he's going to roll away Kaka. He can't finish off the killer. Now he gets kicked away to boot. And it's going to be basically a full team wipe. The only person to survive was Emo on the OD.
I mean, he bought back.
Oh,
you know, he bought back, and he can't even go back in. They lose the Aegis.
I mean, they don't take the Roshan quite fast enough right now. It looks like they just kind of wanted to take it away and see if they could snag it off VICI Gaming. But yeah, Fly is getting caught out again with the Meteor Hammer follow-up from Yang. And Eurus is just able to take the kill for himself in the Morphling.
And your biggest core just can't be big enough. It's just a lot that IG has to try to counteract, but they're losing space in the map to find that catch-up farm.
Oh, there's a grip up at top lane. Emo thinking he's safe on the high ground, but Eurus is going to be able to get there, and that forces 4 TPs back to the base. Eurus is just going to make a run for it. In fact, he might fight back. Kaka, he got nightmared. Now the Avalanche toss out, and Ori is there to help out. The silence. They do get the Tiny, and now Ollie is in big, big trouble, and he looks to go down as they've called the GG ball played. 26 minutes in, they've had enough.
Oh boy. I mean, we said it was VG favorite, but
it's a clinic
IG. Oh, it was. They got cleaned up. They were trying to run a draft that worked for them in the last series they played. VG knew it was coming.
See if it all pans out. Game 2, IG need to win this one to try and force to a Game 3, and Or if they don't, it's not like they're out of the tournament quite yet, but they will be knocked down to the lower bracket playoffs, and PYW with the sticky napalm charges slowing them down enough. Yang gonna be thanking his lucky stars with that one, though now the Stomp's coming in again. Flyfly has another lance to throw out, but Enchant Totem's gonna be there. Flyfly, however, does manage to get the first blood. Now he's looking to make his way down to the bot lane, see if he can set up a kill attempt. Because it will have to be onto Kaka, right? You can't really go for JT at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that Omni's a really tricky target. The one issue for Ori is that he's walking right under ward, so the opening isn't there, although up top, Yang?
Gonna be in trouble, but still making a run for it. Enchant Totem will land, but eventually Emo, because he had the haste rune, so he just takes the kill for himself. It's a great rotation out from Emo.
You're not giving that Void Spirit the opportunity to snowball hard.
That seems to be the smart way to play it anyway. Right, like as long as you know where the Void Spirit is, it's not like any other lane really kills anyone here from VICI Gaming, as they are going to jump onto Kaka now mid lane, forcing a lot of rotations in. Kaka will die, but they should get the trade onto PYW. It's a nice X-back from Emo, and it will prove to be enough. I guess you're still okay with that if you're VICI Gaming, considering you did get the kill first and you did force all those rotations in. Ori, let's get his Invis rune there. Very, very nice, and actually just turns around with the actual step, but there's going to be a torrent coming out with a stomp, and Ori!
What?
That was really overly confident. Well, those are a lot of ancients stacked up right now for somebody later on, but close call there for IG. Top lane, Ori could be in danger. Emo does connect with the X. Dissimulate. Gonna allow him to... No, it doesn't actually juke out the torrent. A nice bait from Emo. Cancelling off the initial torrent.
Right now, IG's finding that early start they want. They're hitting their stride here. Emo's a lot more successful in these early rotations. And VG's just playing a lot slower. Now, mind you, this is what you'd expect from VG's draft. It's just a lot slower to come online, although they might have caught Flyfly in a weird spot.
Potentially. Lasso is going to come out. They do get the right target, and Flyfly, he really wanted that kill on the Bat Rider. That was a very aggressive attempt out from the PL.
This is still somewhat okay for VG. I mean, IG's hitting their strides, but VG's still not too far behind. Again, it's a 1k lead for IG. They're still getting the farm on Eurus, and they catch JT out.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. Just the amount of stun you've got on Yang at the moment, it makes it so hard to run out of there. But there is a ward scouting, or rather, that's not their ward on the Dire side, but this ward is scouting out Yang.
Oh.
And well, now the lasso out from Kaka into a boat from Emo, and Yang is set to just die. Like, they're going to take the Ancients as well. Yeah, there's a lot of rotations out from VICI. Eurus does TP away in time. So, IG are being made to run around the map quite a lot for nothing, but now Ollie, he does find 3, but the problem is he finds 3, and there's too many for him to control, so he will go down. But now Emo's coming in with the boat onto Yang. They'll lock him down on the high ground for a little while. Yang actually doesn't have his blink up for another few seconds, but the lasso is going to be there. Emo not going to be dragged up, but now the Echo does come out from Yang into that kinetic field. No static storm for another 2 seconds, but they might not need it because Emo is dropping and so is Flyfly. They're keeping him alive for now, but there goes Emo, and now Flyfly is set to also die. As Yang, he's not done. He's chasing down JT on the Omni. Has Fisher back up in a second. Eventually will connect, but now the stomp's out from Ollie, holding them back with the Earth Splitter. Yang gonna get low and does drop, but a great static storm out from DY with the kinetic field is gonna allow Eurus to go in there and clean up. And they just want JT on the Omni, and it looks like they will be able to secure the kill. Getting close to that Aghanim Scepter now on that Morphling. Once that's up, the ES Morph combination is online. And that's when things get very, very silly for a Morphling. I just don't think IG have enough to deal with that at the moment.
Yeah, speaking of, Flyfly.
Yeah, DY, Static Storm going to be dropped. Flyfly does juke it out nicely. Now the X going to be out onto DY on the Disruptor, and Flyfly just going to go after him, but now the lasso, Echo being committed. Yang, it's a decent Echo. JT's going to get bursted down. Emo, he'll finally throw the boat out. They are at least going to get 2 for their trouble. PYW and DY both dying for the sake of that Omni Knight. Looks like he is going to be very, very committed here to going after that tier 2. And VICI Gaming will continue committing to defend, but now there's going to be a lift up, and the Static Storm does not land on Fly. So Yang's going to be in major trouble, or he will TP in, but they cannot save this ES. And that tier 2 tower is definitely set to just end up dying here to IG.
It's a decent way to play. They do smoke up his Fordo. They leave Ori behind. They want to reveal that Ags on Eurus, and it's like they want to force a fight like this.
I think Ori's baiting here for his team. PYW has the blink up, looking to get a lasso, and Emo is going to get spotted, but they'll smoke up. They had started on that Roshan. Still, Fisher is going to be there. Onto JT, and JT gets bursted so darn quick. Now the bow down onto PYW, but he's going to Firefly away. Emo pops his BKB, but his team's dying around him. He needs to get in there and hit somebody. The problem is he can't. Nobody is available to take out apart from perhaps Yang, but he jukes out the torrent with the blink tagger. Yang, he does have a TP. He's not really going to make it out of here, is he? Oh, come on now. He makes it out in time. I can't believe that works.
Come on.
Doesn't want to go for the Roshan. There it is. Yeah, 1.1k. Very nice. Very balanced dice.
Oh, Emo.
Thank you for this. Emo does get the Shadow Blade off, and now the Stomp is going to be out from Ollie. Emo, however, he's getting glimpsed back. This could be dangerous. They do get the Fisher off, but now Yang is Yule's up. Still, where is Eurus? He jumps into the backlines, going straight after the supports instead. In fact, no. He wants JT on the Omni. He does get the Guardian Angel off. Eurus can't finish the job off. He needs to get out of there. He will just enchant Totem his way out. DY, however, does end up killing JT off on the Omni Knight. And DY, he'll give his life up for this, but it's going to be well worth it for the sake of a position 3 Omni Knight dying. And Eurus even finds Kaka on the Rubik because DY is still running away. Fly going to have to cut him off and kill him off. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the end, but VICI Gaming are continuing to find the positive trades. I thought he had over 1.1. I thought he had 1.1k damage because he had a double damage active. Eurus still has 1.1k damage once he enchant totems. Lasso. Oh, they caught out Emo on the Kunkka. That's a big one. Fisher gonna be there, and Emo cannot sustain himself, and that means it's Roshan time.
They are playing cautiously though. They don't know where the rest of IG's at. They don't want to commit. There's still a lot of AoE IG can bring, especially with Ollie, so just gonna try to take their time and suss it out first.
They're gonna go in. Eurus just jumps straight in, but he gets fished up there by Kaka. Still great Aether from it now. Kaka is getting very low. The Guardian Angel, but no! The Echo is there with the ES, and now Eurus is just man-fighting this PL. Fly, he can't win this one out by himself. He needs some help, but he's not getting it anytime soon. He will doppel away, but he does end up going down to Ori, and now Ori will just jump straight in onto JT. And that poor Omni Knight can't make his way out of there. Ollie is going to try and TP out like Yang did, but it doesn't work quite the same way. Ori does actually check the tree lines. That's going to be a full team wipe. And now I would dare say they could definitely take the Roshan.
You know, Fly in that position where he's really hard to kill, when he's isolated like that, it doesn't matter. He's just gonna die anyway. Yeah, it's been almost a full year. We're still seeing this, although, nah, you can't catch Ori out just with a PL, unfortunately. They are trying to circle around. If they see Eurus. I don't know about that one, though.
Emo, in danger. Sentry Ward, it's not in vision yet. And let's see, Yang does go for the lift there with Kaka into the torrent boat. They just want to get this Earthshaker dead, and they do. It's a great pickup, and that's all it takes to force VICI Gaming back. Now, Ori's already out of the bot lane. They could try for Yang in the mid lane, and they are actually heading that way. Yang, the rest of his team smoked across the map, and he does get lifted up into the torrent and the boat again of Emo. He might get bursted, but he does get the Yules off in time, and now with the Essence Drink trying to make a run for it, he does echo as Eurus will jump in. He did get the morph on the S before he did end up dying, so Fly is going to go down on the PL, and now the glimpse back onto Emo, but he will blink out of there. Now JT being controlled up, but he has spider legs. Are they going to be enough? Not quite. Emo is hitting way too hard, but Ollie, he does get the stomp off. And now Emo, with the torrent, will try and turn this one around as Fly. He did buy back. Now, mind you, they are fighting into the Aegis of Eurus. But with that buyback, it may be enough to force them back. In fact, they do get PYW, but he'll blink out of there. Fly still trying to chase down Eurus, but Ori will jump back in with the silencers out. He's run out of charges. Does have the Yule Scepter, but hasn't committed yet. In fact, he might die because of this. He does eventually get it off. Now, Astral Step, no, he's not going to get it off in time. So IG, they do make the buyback somewhat worthwhile from Fly. And it looks like they're going to try and take the advantage now and make the push down the mid lane.
Yeah, this is a bit of an opening if they can find this objective. It's just that it's also a dangerous spot with Fly having expended buyback.
Eurus rather just jumping in by himself. There's the buyback out from Ori now, and JT, he's about to die here. He does Heavenly Grace, but Eurus does kill him off, and now Ollie getting very low on the Titan. He's also gone. Now they'll go straight into Kaka, and everyone is just dying to this Morphling. Another fish around. They crisscross them. They trap Emo in, and it's only Fly left. And if he dies, it's going to be a tieback. He'll go for the TB play, but they still had the lasso and the glimpse for that matter. Fly, he doesn't know where to run. And unfortunately, he does have nowhere to run as Eurus does get an ultra kill, and there's the GG call. Emo has had enough.
Oh, man. I mean...
It's a rough game for IG.
Oh, I'd say it's a rough series, Mike. I mean, we said VG was favored. They make it look very easy up against IG. Unfortunately for IG, that does mean they're going to have to play another series at the end of the day. But VG, we can see why they are top seed.